Pretty sure this is. And we are on. Good evening, Stanford Musicians Groups. Good evening, Facebook Live. This is Frank coming at you. Week number, I don't know, 5, 6. Who's counting? I'm not, that's for sure. We have another packed show, but I wanted to just thank the folks that have religiously been. Give me 1 second here. I turned off my. I thought I had my thing turned down, but I don't. How do I turn this phone off? Here it is. Here you go. So we just want. This is not happening. There, completely turned off. What I was starting to say is I want to just shout out to all the folks that have been watching religiously over the last couple of weeks or so. It's always nice to see how many views. We always get a bunch of views and a lot of comments and a lot of good stuff happening while the broadcast is happening. But then you'll take a look 2 or 3 days later and you'll notice that, wow, there's a lot of folks that are clicking on this link. So it's really all good, and it's makes me feel good about the fact that look, we all put in a certain degree of effort. Certainly, a little bit of effort from me coordinating all this. A lot of effort from the folks that are sitting at home recording songs. And some people have mentioned to me, and I've actually experienced this myself, where you might not just do one take, maybe a second take, maybe a third. In my instance, I have certainly I have my run on takes, let's put it that way. So at the end of the day, it's really just a big thank you to everyone that is involved in putting on this little production. So we are going to get started because we have a lot of guests on tap. We are going to start off with this gentleman who is always a friendly face, and we always like seeing him. He is coming on. There he is, Mr. Chuck Chesler. How you doing, buddy?
Good. How's it going?
Well, number one, yes, it's going well. You are you're fresh off a critically acclaimed solo performance tribute to John Prine. About 2 weeks ago on Facebook?
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
That was awesome.
For pushing it. Yeah, it was actually, it was a great success. I had a lot of fun. It was super long. It was 2 hours. It was, I actually just composed like a thank you to John Prine, I guess, but because I haven't really commented. I watched one. I haven't watched the whole thing. It's a couple hours long, and I responded to a bunch of comments. It looked like everybody had a really good time. So thanks for promoting it. Yeah, we had a great time doing it.
It was awesome, and I got to give you a lot of kudos, because I mean, it's hard to kind of keep that thing going for, like, you want to
2 hours.
Yeah, well, you want to do this whole interplay with the audience, but of course, there's no audience on the receiving end, except for your wife was there. And
well, one thing I learned was next time. So my wife is actually putting on masks on to try to make me laugh right now.
Well, that's fun.
But yeah, I noticed for all us musicians out there, yeah. So I had some handsome Johnnies, which was the whiskey and ginger ale, and or vodka and ginger ale. I'm sorry. Clearly, I should have cut the vodka in half before I poured them. That was certainly the biggest lesson learned, because I noticed, it was all, and of course, 2 hours is 2 hours, so you really gotta, you can't be messing around, and so that was a lesson learned. But
hey, fun, first of all, we're all learning how to sort of do these type of shows, and like our program here goes about 2.5 hours. I've seen Ed's program go about 4 hours. I'm like, I could never do this for 4 hours. I just can't. Simple as that. Especially when you're drinking whatever it is that I'm drinking this evening. I'm drinking.
Yeah, no, exactly.
King Sue is the first time I've had this beer.
Nice.
Excellent. So you put together a couple of songs for us. We're going to play one tonight, and then we're going to play one next week. Only because you're one of those rare songwriters who doesn't write 3-minute songs. You write longer songs, which are always excellent. But this one, I think, is a 7.5-minute song. Is that right?
I think there was a little bit of an intro, and
all right.
One thing I will throw out there is so I get, as you know, when you run these open mics or whatever we want to call it, helping other musicians out.
Mm-hmm.
You're always offering support, and everybody's always worried about clamming, like, oh, I'm going to make a mistake. I'm going to do this, right? We all do that, obviously, right? And one thing I would say, it's much harder to play other people's songs than it is your own songs.
Yeah.
Because, most people don't, when you're playing an original cover song, everybody knows exactly what's coming, right? So in honor of that, I clammed the very first line of the song. So I want to point that out. I didn't know where to sing it, up or down. And,
okay.
But I'm not a multi-take guy. It takes me just forever just to get the camera to work, let alone make 2 takes or 3 takes. And by the second or third time, I'm so bored. I just, in the studio, maybe a little different, but even in the studio, how many takes can I really go through a tune on the rhythm tracks before it starts to fade? I mean, you can get up to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 takes. I mean, you can get up there a little bit, but 3, 4 takes, it better come, But anyway, that's the way that goes. And so enjoy the first clam of the song. Other than that, it's called I Got My Demons, and it's about all those demons that we all have, and I hope everybody enjoys it.
All right, so hang in there. We're going to play the song and come right back to you, okay?
All right, cool.
Here we go. Chuck Chesler, I've got my demons. I just claimed that. I've got my demons. There we go.
Yeah.
All right, here it goes. This is another original. It's another song by Tyrone Shoelaces. This one is called I Got My Demons. And it's about being home alone. Yeah, we all know what that's like right now, huh? And it's about all those demons that we got behind those faces that we show. And I usually send it out to all the people of the world. Fat people, skinny people, short people, rich people, slow people, fast people, colorful people, non-colorful people, all sorts of people. Sometimes I even send it out to the President of the United States. But tonight I'm just sending it out to all of us. I come home so and I'm my baby, she's on the fence. I come home so and I'm my lady, and it makes no sense. Hey now somebody tell me, oh won't you tell me how what I could do wrong. Hey now somebody tell me, oh won't you tell me, I'm begging you please. Well, I got some demons, all kinds of demons. Everybody's got some demons too. Sugar pie. Oh, I got some demons, all kinds of demons. Everybody's got some demons too. Look out, child. That's it. Shit yellow shop right bags on my lawn. I come home so that and now my sweet lady, she's long gone. Hey now somebody tell me, oh won't you tell me, oh well I could do that. Hey now somebody tell me, oh won't you tell me, I'm begging you. Well, I got some demons, all kinds of demons. Everybody's got some demons too. Sugar pop. Oh, I got some demons, all kinds of demons. Everybody's got some demons too. I swear I said.
Yes. He's in the backyard. He's been here for an hour. Outside the dogs. Both dogs eat.
Everybody's got some demons too. Sugar pie. Oh, I got some demons, all kinds of demons. Everybody's got some demons too. I swear, I say, oh, I got some demons, all kinds of demons. Everybody's got some demons too. Honey now, oh, I got some demons. That's what I said now. Every kind of demons. That's where I usually introduce the band. It's me. Everybody's got the demons. I want to be.
Is that number called again? Look to see if they're outside or something.
Because I'm connected on an app. I don't understand if I disconnect. No, I'm on some live like radio platform.
Yeah, now oh, I got some demons, all kinds of demons.
981.
Got some demons, I swear.
I mean, it
Oh,
might
I
be
got
some
some
fucking
demons,
scams.
all kinds of demons. Everybody's got some demons.
All right,
Honey,
203.
now, oh, I got some demons.
9440.
I swear I said now, any kind of demons.
Am I live on this bullshit is live? Fucked up, man. It's supposed to be you. 9440. All right. Thanks, bud.
Yeah. Good job, Chuck.
Thanks, man. I apologize for the back and forth with me and my son. I guess I thought I was muted. Wait, hold
Well,
on.
I don't think anybody. I don't think anybody at home could hear that. I could hear it. I could hear the whole thing play out. So.
You guys all didn't hear that? Oh,
I don't. You know what? I actually don't know. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure when
we're waiting for food delivery, when everybody's hungry, everybody's stressed out. It's like it's all normal. Right?
I've been there.
Yeah.
So we were going to bring on Richard Keith.
I get to warm up for Richard, my man.
Yeah,
fans.
But here's the thing about Richard. He is having issues getting on. He just got. Oh wait, Harry. I just saw a note coming on. Here. Well, let's see if I can bring him in. Let's see if I can bring him in.
Yeah, there's my man.
2, 3, 4. There he is. Can you guys all see each other, or at least
I can. What's up, brother?
What's up, my brother?
Yo, I don't see your head though. I only see your mouth.
Yeah. Hey, Richard, do me a favor. Just if you can slink down a little bit. Is that a word? Slink.
You got to get down. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Or you got to move the camera up. One of the others. It's like.
Or I need to get rid of that annoying Stanford Musicians Group logo there in the top right-hand corner. That's all right.
We all know. All right. Yo, man, I opened up for you tonight, brother.
Hey, I heard that was going to happen. I'm honored.
Nice. So, I caught some. I'm sorry. I caught some. I haven't seen Richard in a while. I caught some of your afternoon jam, your early evening jams over the weekend. They were great.
Oh, thank you. What did I do one yesterday? Maybe
I think so. Yeah, I think you did. And then on the nice weather, when we get some sunshine, it'll be 4th.
Yeah, I know. He dated it.
Well, Richard was mentioning that you're one of the few individuals, Chuck, that he has actually co-written songs with.
Absolutely. Same, and vice versa. One of the few.
Yeah.
It's not an easy exercise. It takes a special relationship to be able to pull that off, for sure.
And how does that sort of? So who's writing the lyrics? Who's writing the melody? Is it a combination of both of you?
Yeah, I would say it's all over the place. Richard's key lyricist there, right? I mean, a lot of times I destroy his original writing, and he gets very annoyed. So we have to have a very personal relationship because we have to be able to handle that from a standpoint. But it's all over the place. Sometimes I have music, he has words. Sometimes he comes to me with a full tune and said, "Hey, man, I thought of you guys," and then of course we butchered each other's stuff up and
fun. Sounds fun. Well, hopefully you've got something that you've recorded. Maybe you can kind of
we have lots of
sometime.
I have a couple of songs recorded on our last record.
Yeah, Chuck.
There's 2 songs actually. Yeah.
Yeah. I did lyrics on one of them, and
Country's the one that got Cygnus Radio picked up and played.
How about that?
Right, nice. that was one that I think he wrote the lyrics, and that was another one where I wrote the song melody, and it's what it's.
Yeah.
You go on.
Yeah, he had his regular, kind of like the lyrics will be, something like this, and I just took it home and wrote some words down, and pretty much. Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so Richard's going to actually introduce his video that we're going to play here. Chuck, you feel free to hang out.
Frank, thank you so much, man. I'm always watching, and it's a pleasure to be a part of the group, and
Well,
shout
thank
out to
you.
everybody. Stay safe, everybody. We're almost. Hopefully, we sense yesterday was a blue day, but tomorrow's going to be a better day.
It is going to be a better day. Thanks.
That's what we
Chuck,
say.
You're welcome back. You're welcome back anytime.
All
Hopefully
right,
you'll
thanks,
join
brother.
us next week.
Richard,
or
have
the
a
week
good set, Rich.
Thanks. Great to hear you.
Have a good video, buddy.
All right, so
See you later.
exactly. All right, so thanks again to Chuck Chesler, and let's bring Richard full screen or at least half screen. You've got to share the screen with me. Sorry. Hey, you look great. You look rested.
Do I?
You're like, what does that look? What does that mean, right?
Special effect, I'm sure.
So tell us about this video. First of all, I'm very impressed. I want to just I know that you worked with Peter Rotondo, who is obviously does this professionally, because this is really good stuff.
Yeah, no, this is kind of fun because I had never done this before, and Peter was doing this project, and you know, he was nice enough to ask me and a few other local musicians to be involved in it. But so this is the first time I ever lip synced anything. This is the album track to Settle Down from the last album, which Chuck Chesler appears on a number of songs on the album, not this particular one.
Okay, great.
And Peter had you know, organized this thing with just some people to fill in because Paul and David couldn't make it to the thing to, you know, pretend they were playing.
Paul, you being your drummer, David being your bass player.
Yeah.
Right,
But
okay.
Gordon, lead guitar, was there, and so we.
I'm sorry. Did you say Rory?
Rory Gordon.
Gordon. Okay.
Is the only one of the occasional Playboys that made it on set. And we have a bass player, and I feel terrible. I cannot remember the guy's name because I just met him that night. And a local Stanford guy, Todd Watkins, was just sitting at the kit. So, and they had never heard this song before.
Okay.
I have never lip synced anything before. It's not as easy to do as you might think it is.
Well, I was very impressed by the fact that you were able to sing both your lead and your harmony with the same breath, which was really like, how is he doing that?
Yeah,
So
I don't know how I did that.
so let's take a view now. This is the first time I've actually ever brought in a YouTube video, so I apologize in advance if I can't get it right, but I think I have it. So let's
work. I won't blame you.
Yeah, it's gonna work. It's gonna work. I have faith. Here we go. Here it goes. This is Richard Keith, and is it playing? I think so. Yes, it is. Okay, here we go.
All right. This is a rough cut.
Rough cut. Here we go.
Settle Down would be the next one.
Just got into town, but don't knock up your daughter. I'm gonna stick around, I believe it tomorrow. Just how hard can a heart get broken? Tell me how long do the bars stay open? My car looks beat, but it's never been beaten. Tires worn down and it's overheating. Feet so fast that I can't stop running. So fill that glass up and keep them coming, yeah. You can tag along if you want, but I gotta make one thing clear. Yeah, I might settle down someday, but I ain't gonna settle down here. Sitting right there at the table beside me, I feel so bad I need a Bible to guide me. We got along fine, had a couple of cool ones. Band was on fire, they were playing the old ones. She got so hot on the dance floor later, bumping and grinding with a teenage waiter. Hard to judge when the bass starts thumping. It don't mean much, but it ought to mean something, yeah. You can tag along if you want, but I gotta make one thing clear. Yeah, I might settle down someday, but I ain't gonna settle down here. You can tag along if you want, but I gotta make one thing clear. Yeah, I might settle down someday, but I ain't gonna settle down here.
got into town, but don't lock up your daughter. If you wanna stick around, oh, I believe it tomorrow. Just how hard can a heart get broken? Tell me how long do the bars stay open? A car looks beat, it's never been beaten. Tires worn down and it's overheating. Feet so fast that I can't stop running. So fill that glass up and keep them coming, yeah. You can tag along if you want, but I gotta make one thing clear. Yeah, we might settle down someday, but we ain't gonna settle down here. No, we ain't gonna settle down here. We ain't gonna settle down here.
The crowd goes crazy. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I can hear. I don't know if you can still hear the audio on that. Can you hear me okay, by the way, Richard? Oh man, we run into this all the time. Richard, hello.
What I'm about to show you is going to change your life. Demonstrate
Richard,
what you're about
you
to
know what's
see.
happening here?
Watch.
Give me 1 second here. There we go. Richard, can you hear me? No, we cannot. Okay, so this does happen on occasion where we come back. But anyway, so listen, Richard. First of all, that was great. It really is one of my favorite songs from your last album. And for those of you at home, check out Richard's last album called About This Big. Yeah, that's all right, Richard. I got you. I got you covered, man. It's called About This Big. It's available anywhere that I guess Spotify and all the various places that you buy this stuff. But so we will hopefully, Richard, you'll come back next week or the week after, and we'll have you play some additional songs. He's still trying to figure out where he is, but I'm going to go ahead and hide Richard. And thanks again, Richard. And again, that was a production by Peter Rotundo. And saying goodbye to Richard. All right, so our next gentleman that is going to join us is a gentleman that has been part of our live music Murphy's Night several times, Mr. Rick Crossman. Rick, can you hear me all right?
I can hear you.
All right, geez.
Can't see you on the phone. I can see you on my computer.
All right, well, you know, we'll have to figure that part out. First of all, how have you been? We have not seen each other, I think, since the last Murphy's performance.
Oh, it's been a while.
Yeah. How's everything?
Everything's good. We've got the
Yeah.
whole family here. The kids are adults, but we're getting along very well. So
all your kids are living came like much like my kids. My kids came back home and are living here.
yeah, two. You know, my daughter and fiance in a small apartment in New York City. So I got them out, and the other daughter just getting lonely. So
Yeah. Well, good. No, that's fine. What have you been doing? What have you been doing musically?
Well, just trying to play, learn how to work these devices.
You mean the virtual? Those devices. I thought you meant the whole virtual.
No, I'm
Okay.
just trying to learn how to. You know, I just never recorded myself. I don't like recording myself so much. So.
Well, you could have fooled us because you do it well, and I've always found that your relative levels, your guitar level and your vocal level, seem to match beautifully. And it's just maybe it's just the room you're doing it in, but it works pretty well.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, good.
Hope
So
you say that after these next songs.
Yeah, we've got a couple of songs that you've submitted. I'm going to go ahead and just play the first one. I don't know which one I have queued up, so we're going to go ahead and play it, and then we'll talk about it. Hang out with us for a little while, and we'll come right back to you, okay?
Cool. Yeah.
This is Mr. Rick Crossman.
This is the last thing on my mind. It's a lesson too late for the learning. Made a sound, made a sound. With the wink of an eye, my soul is turning. with no words of farewell. Can there be not a trace left behind? I could have loved you better, didn't mean to be unkind. No, that was the last thing on my mind. As I lie in my bed in the morning, without you, all my sorrows and fears are dawning. Without you, are you going away with no words of farewell? There be not a trace left behind. I could have loved you better, didn't mean to be unkind. No, that was the last thing on my mind. Yeah, they're going away with no words of farewell. There be not a trace left behind. I could have loved you better, didn't mean to be unkind. No, that was the last thing on my mind. Darling, that was the last thing on my mind.
All right, that's Rick Crossman. Rick, can you hear me now?
That was a little behind.
Yeah, I know he's a little behind. Hey, Rick, can you hear me? This is so funny. This is going to happen again. So that was Rick doing a last. Rick Crossman. Rick, can you hear me now?
I can't hear you on my phone. I can hear you on the computer.
Well,
Yes,
that's
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
This is going to happen again. So that was Rick doing. I just get a kick out. I'm going to sit back and just watch this. Actually, we're going to do everyone a favor and just hide Rick and silence his microphone just for a second, and we will show another video of Rick. Here he goes, doing his second part. All right, Mr. Rick Crossman. That was awesome, man. That was awesome. All right, so Rick, I'm convinced we are on that 15 to 20 second delay.
All right,
so,
Mr. Rick Crossman.
I'm going to
Awesome,
say,
man. That was awesome.
If you can hear me, thanks. I don't know if you can. I did.
all right, so Rick, I'm convinced we are on that 15 to 20 second delay.
All right,
so,
Mr. Rick Crossman.
I'm going to say, So,
You can hear me,
Rick,
thanks.
first of all, thank you again. I really do appreciate you coming on, and hopefully we'll have you back either next week or the week after. Some pretty heavy-duty finger picking there, and it's always a pleasure to watch you. So, again, let me just mute Mr. Crossman here. Rick, goodbye for this week, and we will see you again next week or the week after, whenever it is that you are able to submit a new recording for us. Thanks, Rick. Thanks again. And let's bring in our next gentleman who is on deck. This is Mr. Here he comes, Mr. Nick Amico. Nick, how you doing, man?
All right. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks.
Thanks for having me on.
You had that snooze button going on your alarm, right?
I know. It was perfect. It was perfect. All lined up. That was really good, Rick. I really enjoyed that with the guitar picking. It was really. I'm a crap guitarist,
so Rick plays. Rick has been to, and so have you. I mean, you may have seen Rick do his Murphy's open mics with us. He brings in, and I forgot. I think his first name is John. He's a fiddler.
Oh, nice.
And they are.
Missed that. All right. Can't wait to get back to Murphy's so we can hear this all again.
I'm with you, man. But the two of them are just something to watch. And it's I always say this, like, you can listen to bluegrass on the radio or wherever you are, and it's not quite the same until you see it as when you see it live. When it's done live, you realize, man, they are lightning speed. Number one. Number two, they're insanely talented, right?
Yep.
Their fingers are all over. So it's just something to watch. But anyway, so you've submitted I guess another original, right? Because you are primarily a guy that does mostly originals. Am I correct about that?
Yeah. Most of the time for gigs and stuff, I do originals. Throw in a couple of covers. So look out for those. Over the next few weeks, I'll throw in a couple of covers. But the first few I wanted to do were just originals.
Okay, well, this is another gem. I watched it yesterday. Not only do I enjoy the music, but also for whatever reason, your style of your video editing style, and it's weird because you think, well, what did Nick do differently than the rest of us? And yet, if you notice, and you tell me if maybe it's a filter or something like that, but if you notice.
Yeah.
You threw a filter on, right? Because
just a little something on it, and then tried to throw in something at the end.
Because the headstock of your guitar is out of focus, and I was like, "That is such a nice little effect." So we're going to go ahead and pull it up, and if you can set up the song for us, if that's all right.
Sure. This song is called "Shepherd and the Dog."
Shepherd and the Dog.
Yep.
All right, cool. And so if you hang out with us, we'll chat with you on the flip side of this.
Sounds good.
All right, here we go.
Hi everyone, my name is Nick Amico, recording for Stanford Musicians Group. I'm going to play an original song for you called Shepherd and the Dog.
Drawing up the serpent, clenching to a skull. They say the dark space
Nick Amico, Shepherd and the Dog.
Thank you so much.
That was. You're welcome. That was a killer song, man.
Thanks, appreciate it. It's a lot of fun playing that song, man, and it's out on Spotify. It sounds good with the full band and with the drum kit and the whole everything with it. So I'm playing an acoustic though.
So tell us the truth here, because I'm listening to it through my headphones, right? And I can definitely hear your guitar, but there's also bass going on.
Yes.
All right.
I got lazy with the video editing and didn't put I had a whole clip of me playing bass that I was going to strap into it, but I was like,
because I'm sitting there watching your thumb. I'm like, how's he getting? I have so much trouble getting. You're like,
no, threw it on there. I was going to add some video to it, but I figured I was like, let me get it. I got it in. You saw I sent it at 11:59. So I can't spend 1 minute more editing.
You're like, that's the 12 o'clock deadline, deadline hour. Well, thanks again, Nick. I really do appreciate you being part of this. And we look, we're all itching to get back in front of people live and in person, and really kind of trade stories and kind of all do. But we'll have to put up with this for now, and this is cool too.
Hey, absolutely.
And awesome. We hope you'll come back either next week or the week after, and kind of display some of your other songs and your talents for us.
I'm on it, man. Thank you.
All right. Well, thanks, Nick Amico. Thanks again. We'll see you soon. Take care, man. Stay well.
Bye.
Bye. All right. So that is Nick, and who do we have on deck here? This gentleman. I recognize him. Daniel Galindo.
You soon?
Oh, shit.
I love this. We have got to do this weekly.
What's up?
Daniel, what's up, man?
Not much, man. How are you?
Good. Are you a little disoriented? Just it looks like you're like
this is the thing.
Just too many buttons, man. So are you guys just what are you doing? What are you up to?
Right now, we had a hard Mondays always suck. Work just goes on and on and on. I mean, we probably work till 8 every Monday for some reason.
Oh, is that right?
We just like ate a meal and got our Lock City here. I don't know.
Right. That's right. Lock City place, and hopefully before long they'll get back to. I got you. I'm drinking something completely different tonight. I'm drinking King Sue.
Okay.
I don't even know who. My son recommended it. I was like, yeah, sure, I'll drink it. I don't even know who does this. Toppling Goliath Brewing Company.
Oh yeah, I've heard of them.
Have you? Okay.
And then I got my Stratford Two Roads shirt on.
Yeah. All right. There you go. Well, speaking of Lock City, you did a couple of sets. I was at one of them. Probably a couple. Maybe 4 or 5 different times you played there.
Yeah, I played there a few times.
That's a cool little. It's a relatively small space as they all. Every brewery, and Lock City, for those of you that don't know, is a Stanford-based brewery. Excellent. I mean, well above average. I would put it right up there with. Right? Would you agree with that?
I would agree.
And it's kind of a small sort of setting, which all tasting rooms are initially until they become Captain Lawrence, and before you know it, you've got this like 5 different rooms environment.
No doubt. But then, are you in the beer making business or are you in the party business?
Well, I mean, and they're in both.
Like fine beverage.
They're in both.
Captain Lawrence. They still got some good ones though. They got some good ones, but they're churning them out more. They're making pizzas and stuff like that.
Right, they hired some chefs from somewhere, but I do know what my company was actually looking to host an event, and we reached out to Captain Lawrence. I think it's a whole process. I mean, it's a professional staff that does all that stuff. So it's not like some guy.
It's a blast to go to Captain Lawrence.
Yeah, no, and I actually they've got
day drinking, and if you're allowed to gather. People. And
they also have great bands on like Friday and Saturday nights. We saw Stella Blues there.
Okay, cool.
Oh, it was exceptional. So all right, so you got a couple of songs for us. Let's play the first one. I think the first you have I'm going to play the George Harrison one second. The first one was something again as usual. You always send me one I have never heard.
Yeah, that's my song that I wrote.
Oh, so this is yours?
Yeah.
All right, well then set it up for us. No wonder.
Oh boy. I don't know. This is just
It's an original. Let's start there. It's an original.
Yeah.
When did you write it? When did you write it?
Oof. I don't know. Probably it's 4 years old at this time.
Okay.
And this was kind of during when the open mics were at the church, and we started playing a lot together. You know, as a group, Dave and I, you know,
Right.
Carly, and I thought we should bring some original material out. You know what I mean? And so I wrote this song. You know, I don't know. I just try to. It's all nonsense, right? You find a groove, right, first, and then you put some words down and you try to make them, I don't know, paint a picture of a place or a feeling or whatever, you know.
So what's it called?
It's called, I call it Some Kind Mystic, but that's just a line of the song. People want to call it Champion, but I don't know.
I'm going to go with Some Kind of Mystic.
I like it.
All right, so this is Daniel Galindo, Some Kind of Mystic. Here we go.
Waiting on the winter sun just to shine brightly. Oh, that's what I tell myself. Ain't no safe house if this house goes south. Just a friendly word or two from you. So now the sapling must be come hickory, unless otherwise compelled by some kind mystic, not a coward nor a thief, on a beach across from Collins Avenue. Won't you be my guiding light, be my guest, be my ride, be my mate, be my wide receiver, be my family, be my travel companion, and I will be your champion. Your fingertips, they push like a hair behind your ears, and suddenly the world is not so loud. Out in the water near the island where I cast away, waves toss, ships they turn and tumble, finally on camouflaging every melody. I'm a little embarrassed, but I'm just as proud. Feelings fade, oh, but you drive me crazy. Wanna say I love you, but I mumble. Be my guiding light, be my guest, oh, be my ride, be my mate, be my wife receiver, be my family, be my travel companion, and I will be your champion. Why don't we press a little longer, maybe on past your station? Soak up the atmosphere, take a 4 train back downtown, and be my guiding light, be my guest, oh, be my ride, be my mate, be my wide receiver, be my family, be my travel companion. I will be your champion.
Daniel Galindo. I love that song, man. That was awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely
I appreciate
awesome. Some pretty lyrics in there if you listen closely.
Thank you.
And really. So I saw Carly over there, Carly and Common as well. I didn't know you guys were there. Hi, Carly. Hi, Common.
Hello.
You guys look so relaxed.
Yeah.
Is that well? You got the Lock City going, so that's probably
Yeah,
half
definitely.
the battle there. All right, your next song you're going to do is a George Harrison tune, and it's obviously one that's pretty well known. So if it's okay with you, I'll just go ahead and play it, and we'll come right back to you. Okay, here we go. This is Dan Galindo doing "All Things Must Pass."
Okay, buddy.
How are you, buddy?
Sunrise doesn't last all morning. A cloud burst doesn't last all day. Seems my love is up and left you without warning. It's not always gonna be this great. All things must pass. All things must pass away. Sunset doesn't last all evening. Mine can blow those clouds away. After all this, my love is up now and must be leaving. It's not always gonna be this great. All things must pass. All things must pass away. All things must pass. None of life's strings can last, so I must be on my way. To face another day. Darkness only stays in the nighttime. In the morning, it'll fade away. Daylight is good at arriving at the right time. It's not always gonna be this great. All things must pass. All things must pass away. All things must pass. All things must pass away.
Yeah, Daniel, I love it.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. So that was obviously All Things Must Pass, a George Harrison song that so many of us know, and so few of us have played.
And it's like track 19 on the album All Things Must Pass.
Well, that's so George, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
So, but it is one of those songs. I remember thinking to myself, like, I've never played that song. I've heard it a million times. I've never once attempted to play because there's like with all George stuff, it's just a lot harder than it looks. And we have other folks. We have other folks that are joining us this evening that'll be playing another George Harrison. At least one other individual is going to be playing George Harrison, and just watching him do that video and thinking to myself, I would never have even attempted it because it's so complex. And so at the end of the day, but that was a great rendition of that song.
I'm trying to dumb it down, just going from E to A, couple of hammer-ons, keep it simple, you know, and then you know that major pentatonic is your friend always.
Yeah, man. Well, it sounded great on this end. So thanks again for joining us this week. Hopefully we'll see you next week, and hopefully you'll be in slightly less harried states because of work and things like that, you know.
For sure.
But say good evening to Carly and to Common for us, and we'll see you guys later. So hopefully we'll see you next week.
Good night, guys.
All right, take care, guys. That was Gang Galindo, Common, and Carly, of course, in the background there. Okay. All right, so let's bring on our next guest who joined us just a few weeks ago, and she's back and she's got something new for us. Hello, Ann. How are you?
I'm good, Frank. How you doing?
I'm doing really well. Thanks for joining me. This is Ann Campora, of course, from the Casey and Ann, or is it Ann? No, it's a Casey and Ann band, right? I always get
Casey and Ann, yeah.
You working on that? You'll be like, hey, maybe it should be the Ann and Casey. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes, right?
We'll see. Sorry, the cat just decided to come right in, and he's tempting me to put him on camera, but I won't.
Well, that's okay. We're very well. We just had Common the dog on camera, so you know.
Maybe that's it. He's getting jealous.
What's your cat's name?
Believe it or not, his name is Ringo.
Ringo.
There you go.
I love it. Little camera shot.
Right after George, we have Ringo. So we're good.
I love it. So you've got a few things for us. I'm going to play the one you do. I'm going to play your original first, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, because then we want to sort of obviously properly introduce the second one. But could you tell us a little bit about this song we're about to hear?
Yeah. So it's called Bar Off Summer Street, and it's written about a bar that's off Summer Street called Casey's Tavern. And
so wait a second. So it's called, the name of the song is A Bar Off Summer Street.
Yes.
And it's about a bar off of Summer Street.
Yes, which is Casey's Tavern. So it actually, and I'll say, I don't know if Richard Keith is still watching, but when we started doing open mics over there, I heard a lot of his stuff, and I kind of got inspired to write a song about a bar after hearing Walking Home. So
nice.
This is what came out of that. So thank you, Richard.
I love it. So I'm sure he's still checking. Hopefully he's still watching. But okay, so we'll go ahead and play this as A Bar Off of Summer Street. By Ann Campora. Let's see if I'm hitting the right buttons here. I think I am. Here it is. Here it comes. Hey, is that Ringo in the background?
Oh, yeah, you can hear it.
Here we go. Bar Off of Summer Street. Here it is.
I love to blame my watery eyes on the smoke in the bar, but it's not allowed anymore. I wish I could blame those other things on all those other things that aren't allowed anymore. Then you look at me like the way you did before. Oh, I laugh a lot and I cry a lot. My Lancelot, come and take a walk with me round the corner to see the place where we had our first real scene. When you kissed me, yeah, you kissed me for the very first time, and it was perfect. The leaves are wet, but the gin is dry. I come undone at the sight of your eyes. Pull up a stool and let's drink for a while. When we meet at the bar of Summer Street, the leaves are wet, but the gin is dry. I come undone at the sight of your eyes. Pull up a stool, let's sing for a while. When we meet at the bar of Summer Street, where it's perfect.
That's Ann Ancampora. That's the bar off Summer Street. That was a really beautiful song. That's a keeper.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
So real quick, first of all, I kudos again for the recording quality itself. Not only was your voice right there with your guitar, but just the way you framed that was really well done. I seriously, and I don't know if you clearly have done this before.
Yeah, I did go to school for TV production in a former life, so
There you have it.
I got a little edge.
So now you mentioned this next video that we're going to show you. Do you want to set this up? Because it was when I first watched it, I was like, "What?" That was my reaction. So
Yeah, so you know, I do a lot of covers in the band with Casey, and this is one that actually I do with my sister. I have a sister also named Liz that we used to be in a bunch of bands together in high school, college, and that stuff. So occasionally we do get to play together, and this is one that we sort of learned. So I called her up and asked if she could sing some harmonies on this. So yeah, we did Imagine Dragons, Radioactive, and Casey, my husband, is a video editor, so he edited us together a little bit and made it all nice.
And you should mention that this is your twin sister.
It is, yes. So if you've had a couple beers, don't be surprised if there's two of us on the screen.
Well, I was like, wait a second. What yeah. And then you explain it. Okay. So we'll.
And I think she's watching right now too. So hey, Liz.
Say again. What was the last part?
I think she's watching, so we'll say hello to her.
Well, hello to Liz, and you guys sound awesome on this. So I'm going to go ahead and play it, and then hang out, and we'll circle back in. Give me 1 sec here, and I will play. This is Ann and Liz doing Radioactive from Imagine Dragons. Here we go.
Waking up to ash and dust, I wipe my brow and I sweat my rust, breathing in the chemicals. Waking in, shaping up, and checking out of a prison bus. This is it, the apocalypse. Whoa, I'm waking up, I feel it in my bones enough to make my system blow. Welcome to the new age, to the new age. Welcome to the new age, to the new age. Whoa, whoa, I'm radioactive, radioactive. Whoa, whoa, I'm radioactive, radioactive. Raise my flag, down my clothes. It's a revolution, I suppose. Painted red, it fit right in. Whoa, whoa. feel it in my bones enough to make my system blow. Welcome to the new age, to the new age. Welcome to the new age, to the new age. Whoa, whoa, I'm radioactive, radioactive. Whoa, whoa, I'm radioactive, radioactive. All systems go. Sun hasn't died. Deep in my bones, straight from inside, I'm waking up. I feel it in my bones enough to make my system blow. Welcome to the new age, to the new age. Welcome to the new age, to the new age. Whoa, whoa, I'm radioactive, radioactive. Whoa, whoa, I'm radioactive, radioactive. Whoa, whoa, I'm radioactive, radioactive. Whoa, whoa, I'm radioactive, radioactive.
That was special. Absolutely special. No, seriously,
Thank you.
I kind of goosebumps type of thing. That was Liz, your sister Liz, and you, of course. I couldn't tell which one was which. I'll be honest with you. I presume you are on the right, and she was probably on the left side.
Yeah, she
so-
actually plays bass, so maybe next time I'll get her to play bass. This is kind of a last minute thing, so yeah, we'll see. We'll play around with it.
Well, first of all, again, thank you for throwing this together as quickly as you did, because I know it was I think I sent you a note saying, hey, any interest? And you're like, I can do something this weekend. I'm like, so thank you very much. Really do appreciate it. Really means
Yeah,
a lot.
I'm happy to do it.
Good, great.
Happy to do it.
So hopefully we'll have you back, and maybe your sister, and maybe even Casey.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Good.
hopefully.
Terrific.
All right.
Perfect. Well,
Thanks, guys.
see you soon. Take care. Be well.
Yeah,
All
me
right.
too. Bye.
All right. That was Ancampora. Okay, here we go. We are going to bring in our next guest, who's been in the waiting room for about 45 minutes. This is Matt McDonald. Here you are, Matt. Hey, Matt, can you hear me this week?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
And we can hear you as well. Last week we had some
relief.
Yeah, we had some issues last week. I saw you like freaking out. You're pushing buttons. You're like, what the hell's going on here?
Technology is hard.
Nah, you know what? Eventually we'll get the hang of it. And you know what? I don't think I really truly believe this. I don't think anybody cares.
That's true.
Whatever, if it works, it works.
Fine.
You did a few songs for us this week. One was a George Harrison song. I was actually speaking to Daniel earlier about just doing George Harrison, just the craft. He's such a crafty player, and just trying to do his is always a tough shoes to fill. But you did a great rendition of that. And we're going to play that song second. I think the first one is also a Beatles song, right? So
it's a George Harrison Beatles song, so it's all George Harrison.
I really interesting. I didn't realize he had written this song, so I should have known that. But here we go. So we're going to start with that one. Here's Matt McDonald doing "I Want to Tell You."
To tell you, my head is filled with things to say. When you're here, all those words, they seem to slip away. When I get near you, the games begin to drag me down. It's alright, I'll make you maybe next time around. But if I seem to act unkind, it's only me, it's not my mind. That is confusing thing. I want to tell you, I feel hung up and I don't know why. I don't mind, I could wait forever, I've got time. Sometimes Sometimes I wish I knew you well, then I could speak my mind and tell you. Maybe you'd understand. I want to tell you, I feel hung up and I don't know why. I don't mind. I could wait forever. I've got time. I've got time.
Nice.
Thanks.
That was awesome. Yeah, that is one of I completely forgot that was a George Harrison song, and I
Yeah.
should have known it. It's so as listening to you do it, of course. It's just like, oh, of course that's George Harrison song. I mean, it has all of those common sort of riffs that he and just the way his melody lines are sort of lined up. All right, the next one I think is probably one of the prettiest songs. I was reading a story, or actually I saw an interview recently with John Lennon when they were talking through the Abbey Road album, track by track. Actually, it was a show called Track by Track. And they had asked him about, the sequence of the songs and what the first single is going to be. And they were talking about Come Together being the single. Yeah. And they were like, oh, so is that going to be the first single? And he goes, oh, no. He goes, George's song, Here Comes the Sun, is going to be the single.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that was actually, but they clearly, the other Beatles respected how great this song is, and to this day, it's really one of their finest, finest hour. Yeah. So
and it's like, it starts off that second side. My dad used to have the album. I remember you'd ended on the first side and it ended with, She's So Heavy, I think. And then you flip it over and it's totally different vibe. So it's pretty cool.
People that listen to She's So Heavy these days on CD don't understand why it ends the way it ends. But anyone that's ever held the vinyl in their hand and have ever watched it spin around on the keyboard, on the turntable, know exactly why it ends when it ends. Because literally the needle hits
the end.
The needle hits the part in the middle, whatever the little. So it's kind of funny. All right, so let's go ahead and play. This is the perfect song for today. Obviously, tomorrow will be a sunny day. So here we go. It's Matt McDonald. Absolutely, absolutely beautiful. Nice job, Matt. Really. I mean, hats off. Not an easy song to pull off. You had the slide thing going on beautifully, and just really worked. It really did.
Thanks, Frank. I played that. I practiced it like 1,000 times this weekend, so I'm glad it worked out. Even I'm watching it, I'm like, I had a little mess up at the end. It's fine. The imperfections make the whole thing.
You know, they call them clams, and nobody really notices. I'll tell you, at the end of the day, no one notices, and I certainly didn't. What I'm actually noticing more of, Matt, and I hope you take this as a compliment. I love the decor in the room. I really do. I think you've done a nice job.
Yeah, we really try.
Are those your toys? I presume they are, right? I mean, what else?
Well, I mean, they roll up to me. I'm in the hierarchy there somehow.
You are part of the hierarchy. I got it. All right. Well, listen, we'll see you next week, hopefully. And if not next week, the week after. But it's always a pleasure to see you, Matt. Take care.
All right. You too. Have a good one.
Matt McDonald, and he's always a pleasure to have on. All right. Let's bring on our next guest this evening. I said to this gentleman, try to look as cool as you possibly can. I'm
going to need to close your boots and your motorcycle. I'll be back.
Man,
obviously I've been inside too long. I'm losing it, so I'm deciding to have a little fun tonight, man.
It's Tommy. I thought we were watching the movie. Sorry, man. My bad.
Yeah.
How you been, Tommy McLaughlin? How you been?
Man, I've been okay. You know, just like everybody else. Yeah, but okay.
Long time no see.
Yeah, man.
Actually, long time no see for real. But we see each other. I think you've been part of every one of our broadcasts so far. Yep. So you're a staple. You're a fixture, and we're always look forward to seeing you.
Well, you know, I love it. I love doing it. I love seeing some of the great musicians you have here. It's good to be a part of it. I mean, Monday night it's my night out, so it's like as good as it gets right now. So I'm happy to be here. So yeah. Definitely.
Well, it's always a pleasure. And you always have great songs that you do. And I noticed your companion's not with you today, Mr. Hank Carpio, probably sitting home and. What
he went solo. He started talking to an agent. He said, "I don't need you anymore." You know, so which happens. Yeah. I mean, how cliche, you know.
It happens. It happens when you're like the best drummer part, within a certain confined area. And
you started it. You said he was the best drummer in the room, and his head went boom.
He was like, "Shit, man, really? I'm the best? All right. Well, then, what do I need Tommy for, right?" So, so set up. Actually, you got a couple of songs for us. The first one's an Allman Brothers song from Brothers and Sisters, which is really one of my favorite. I believe you're doing. Am I correct about that?
Yeah, I'm doing Come and Go Blues. Yeah. I don't do it quite like Greg. He uses alternate tunings and all that kind of stuff. But I'm a huge Allman Brothers fan these days. And
as am I. Yeah. So
yeah, I love them.
Well, let's go ahead and play it, and
okay, cool.
We'll come right back to you. Okay.
Awesome, man. Thank you.
Tommy McLaughlin doing an Allman Brothers track, Come and Go Blues. Here we go.
People say that you're no good, and I couldn't cut you loose if I could. Seem to stay on the ground, maybe I'm too far gone to turn around. If only you would make up your mind, leave me where you go, leave me far behind. Those come and go blues. Woman, you got those come and go blues. You got me feeling like I'm a fool for your love. Don't know where I'm coming, sure don't know where I've been, like a fool. Round and round, round we go. Don't ask why I stay, I don't know. Maybe I'm a fool to care without your sweet love, darling. I'll be nowhere, so here I'll stay locked in your web till the time I'm out someone else. I don't know when that might be, till the time might come, time that I can't see. Woman, you got those come and go blues. Woman, you got those come and go blues. Got me feeling like a fool for your love. Don't know where I'm coming, you don't know where I've been, like a fool. Sail on, darling, sail on, darling, you go your way and I'll go mine. Seems to me that I once heard everything is eventually over time. Sail on, darling, sail on, wishing you luck. See you again next time. When you got those come and go blues. Women, you got those come and go blues. Got me feeling like a
Yeah, sweet. I love that. I love that note you hit at the end there. Ooh.
I went for it. I gave it a shot. It was good.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
fun.
Hey, you pulled it off. That's all that counts, right? That's obviously something from the Brothers and Sisters album. And
Great album.
It really
So
is.
great.
It really is. People don't. Yeah, that's one
Yeah.
of those albums that, I mean, obviously it has its hits and all the songs that
Yeah.
kind of.
Oh,
but
and I started reading the book, Cross the Bear, the one you recommended.
Excellent
I'm
book.
halfway into that. It's a great book, man.
Yeah,
Thanks
it-
for the
it really-
recommendation. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah,
Great.
absolutely. For those of you that were watching, if you haven't had a chance to read Greg Allman's autobiography called Cross the Bear, it's really exceptional in that sort of he does his best to recall everything. Obviously, his memory's not perfect, I would assume, and so he's got his own sort of interpretive elements that he's interjected, obviously. But
Great stories.
But it really is, and I think I can't remember, but I think he wrote that like maybe a year, maybe a year and a half, or maybe 2 years right before his death. So it's obviously he took the time to sort of spend and tell the stories from his perspective.
Very well written.
So your next song here is "Run to You." I think is it the Bryan Adams song?
Bryan Adams, yeah. Yeah. So had some more fun with sunglasses and did the song and tried to do it 80s style,
What is I always question, like, what happened to Bryan Adams? I mean, he was the biggest. I mean, literally, he was the biggest one of the largest, biggest performers in the 80s and I guess early 90s, and then it sort of went away. And I can't figure it out because I mean, he was right up there, in my opinion, like in terms of just one of the best songwriters in the of the group there.
A lot of these guys drop out of the limelight to raise families and put the kids through college and all that kind of stuff, and they come back like all their stuff. So probably some of that going on if you didn't crash and burn. I mean, who knows?
I completely understand hair bands sort of, being sort of phased out, right? But Bryan Adams was not in that category. I would throw him in the same category as a Tom Petty sort of esque, and I don't mean.
And they were using his music for movies. I think they used one of his songs in the Robin Hood movie. I can't remember what it was. Everything I Do for You, and yeah, he was all over the place. You can go anywhere without hearing him.
Right, but he wasn't originally a pop singer. I mean, he ultimately started writing pop songs, but he was originally kind of a harder rocking kind of a guy, and I always appreciate it. Anyway, so this is "Run to You" from Tommy McLaughlin, who wrote and performed this years ago. I'm just kidding. Here we go. We'll hang out and we'll still go back to you on the flip end. All right, here we go.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. She that her love for me could never die. That would change if she ever found out about you and I. Whoa, but her love was cold. Wasn't hurt her and she didn't know. I got my mind made up. I got to feel your touch. I wanna run to you. Wanna run to you. When the feeling's right, I'm gonna run all night. I'm gonna run to you. She's got a heart of gold, she never let me down. You're the one that always turns me on and keep running round. Whoa, but our love is true. So damn easy making love to you. I got my mind made up. I got to feel your touch. I wanna run to you. I wanna run to you. When the feeling's right, I'm gonna run all night. I'm gonna run to you. I'm gonna run to you. When the feeling's right, I'm gonna run all night. I'm gonna run to you. I'm gonna run to you. I'm gonna run to you. When the feeling's right, I'm gonna run all night. I'm gonna run to you. I'm gonna run to you. I'm gonna run to you. When the feeling's right, I'm gonna run all night. I'm gonna run to you. I'm gonna run to you. When the feeling's right, I'm gonna run all night. I'm gonna run to you.
Yeah, run to you.
Yeah.
Tommy McLaughlin doing a nice little Brian Adams rendition there. So we've got you. You've been really good about just spreading the word about this particular.
Oh yeah, man. Always promoting.
Now, I
Always
know you have
promoting.
it, and I want to bring on, if that's okay with you, I'm going to bring on Mr. Mike Rosales, who is a buddy of yours, and you said, you know what, you really ought to be part of this. And so let me see if I can bring Mike in. I think I can do this. Here we go. Let me just unmute it. Mike, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, Mike.
What's up, buddy?
What's up, man? What's happening?
Not much, man. Yeah, this is where we play with the band usually, not now, obviously. And I went to open the refrigerator, and there was one beer left in there.
What?
One beer.
Hey, I'd
Not
live
lying.
that.
What was this?
Well, first of all,
the sun came out. Sip of sunshine. Woo! Yeah.
It's
One and only left.
If you're gonna have one beer in your refrigerator, which one would you would you prefer to have?
Yeah, it's a good one.
So Mike, you play with a band called Take a Number, and you're what is a 6-piece band, kind of? I think it's a 6-piece band, right? Ballpark.
Yep.
You and I were talking earlier. You did your last gig in March.
That was the last gig at Stonebridge, and then they closed.
Yeah, and so what have you been doing to sort of keep it going? I guess I should probably ask this question of all the folks that have joined our program that are part of bands. Like, what are you guys doing? Because I was in a band for many for a few years. That band disbanded. Okay, and so I don't have this. But if I were sort of still in that band, I'd want to like reach out. Let's see if we can somehow rehearse over the phone or through the virtual means that we have. Are you doing any of that stuff?
we've been playing around with it, trying different programs to try to see what we can do to stay connected and kind of stay fresh. But other than that, it's been a lot of, this is why I picked up the acoustic again, because I wasn't really playing much in the band now because we have like 2 guitar players.
Right. Okay.
Just trying to stay. I mean, I'm one of those people that cannot stay away from music, no matter what. And Tommy knows this. No matter where it is, no matter when. You know, I love doing it, and I just enjoy it. And you know, it's one of those things that keeps me sane, and you know, keeps other people safe because I'm not going crazy.
And it's kind of, and it's interesting because it's kind of why we're doing this. I mean, because at the end of the day, look, you know, we're all in the middle of a crisis. Clearly, it's a, you know, I've said this before. It's obviously a health crisis, and it's an economic crisis for some of us that aren't working, et cetera. But it's also a. Give me a second here. Let me just. Somebody's trying. Okay, but it's also a kind of a creative crisis. I mean, we are sort of we're creatures of habit. We like to play music. Everybody that is watching right this second is either a musician, or they know musicians, or they enjoy watching music and being sort of in this environment. And you know, I've often said, like, you know, this is something we as musicians, we need things to do with our hands, kind of thing, you know. And so this, for whatever it's worth, this seems to work. I mean, you know, and I love hearing stories of, hey, I haven't picked up my guitar in, you know, whatever, whatever it was, 4 weeks or whatever it is. And this environment maybe gave us a reason to do it. And so that's ultimately the only objective for this right this second. And that includes me, as much as I enjoy playing. But I love just doing this. I love being part of this. And it's just, again, gives us something to do. You know, so
yeah, I mean, we'll keep it alive until we can get together and do it the way we want to do it, right?
Absolutely. So you sent in a couple of songs, and Tommy, I'm going to say goodbye to you. Thanks very much for joining us, man. And we'll see you soon, man.
Break a leg, Mike. Take care, bud.
All right, so that was Tommy McLaughlin, and now, of course, Mike Rosales. The band is Take a Number, and Mike, you sent in a couple of tunes. One, I'm going to play the first one, which is Crawling, and then we'll come right back to you and kind of check in with you, okay?
Gotcha. Cool.
All right, here we go. This is Mike Rosales doing Crawling. Actually, what song is this? What's the full title here? I apologize.
I think that's I think that's the title.
Let's go with Crawling. Okay, it was Crawling ... when you sent it to me. I was just like, I must know this song. Here we go.
I think that's it.
Okay, here we go.
Inside me that pulls beneath the surface, consuming, confusing. It's like the self-control I fear is never ending. Controlling, I can't seem to find myself again. My walls are closing in. I felt this way before, so insecure.
Wow, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Lincoln Park, the great late Chester Bennington. You did a great version. Your vocal range is exceptional. I mean, Jesus, getting you hit those notes beautifully.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I like wanted to do something I haven't done with a band or anything like that, but I had to try that one 3 times because it's a kind of a newer song for me, and I put a couple of overdubs on the beginning, the little
Yeah.
thing.
Well, it sounded awesome. I think the next one you're doing is I think it's a Smashing Pumpkin song. Am I correct?
Yeah, that one I've done a few times before.
Okay.
And when I started picking it up, I was like, man, I haven't done this in a while. And yeah, one of my favorite as well.
Okay, so this is Disarm. This is Mike Rosales doing Smashing Pumpkins. Here we go.
Saw me with a smile, got you like you want me to, got that little child inside of me is just a part of you. Whisper, I used to be a little boy, so old in my shoes. What I choose is my choice. What's I supposed to do? Killer in me is the killer in you. My love, over to you. Send that smile over to you. Disarm you with a smile, leave you like you left me here to wither in denial. Bitterness of one who's left alone. Whisper, he is burned, is burned, is burned. I used to be a little boy, so old in my shoes. What I choose is my voice. What's a boy supposed to do? The killer in me is the killer in you. My love, over to you. Send that smile over to you. The killer in me is the killer in you. Send that smile over to you. The killer in me is the killer in you. Send that smile over to you. The killer in me is the killer in you. Send that smile over to you.
Mike Rosales doing his version, and a very well done version of Smashing Pumpkins' Disarm. Nice, really nice,
Thank
Mike.
you, sir. Thank you.
Hats off,
Always,
man.
just enjoyment of doing it, doing music, playing in every way, and
Yeah,
one of those
well,
things
you've got
keeps you
that
going.
you've got that quality to your voice, though. I mean, it was right. You nailed it. I mean, without if you don't mind me saying so, but you nailed it.
I appreciate it. Appreciate it.
So I'm going to bring on another gentleman that you probably know, and this is here we go. 3, 2, 1. There he comes, Mr. Emmett Lee.
Going on, Mike? Hey, Frank.
What's up,
Do I have to do this like like my predecessors here? I mean, it seems like that's the trend of the evening, or what?
It's the way I do when I'm playing. Yeah.
Well, hopefully we'll see the sun tomorrow.
Well, hang on. If you're going to do it, I'm going to do it.
There we go.
That's going to be my new look here. This whole look with the DJ thing.
I like it.
So, Mike, I saw a video of you playing. Am I correct? You were playing You're sitting in for the best drummer, by the way, in all of the land. That's Hank Carpio. You were sitting in. You were playing congas, right, or something?
Oh yeah. That was he got up to go to the bathroom. That was a mistake he made. And I sat down and took over.
You're like, yeah, Hank, I got this.
Yeah, 95% of the time I go and I help with whatever. 5% of the time I might go and wreck everything.
Yeah, he asked for more than 5% of our gig money, though.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he asked for a bigger cut than 5%, but that's okay. He's worth it.
But listen, it's like 5% of play.
I could help you or I could destroy you. You never know. It depends on the night.
Well, Mike, thank you again this is the first time you've joined us, and I hope you'll join us again either next week or the following week. Love to have you back, and yeah, great. Well, thanks, man. We'll see you again soon. Okay.
See you later, Mike. Great job, buddy.
All right. It was Mike Rosales. All right, take care, man. That was Mike Rosales, and this is Emmett Lee. Emmett, how you doing, Mike?
What's happening, Frank? How you doing?
Oh,
great night you got going on tonight. Boy, what a great group so far.
Yeah, we've been fortunate. I mean, and I always said this. Like at the end of the day, it really is a testament to how much talent we have in the area. It doesn't take much. I honestly, truly believe that. I mean, like people that do what we do happen to do it well. And
I have to say too, back to your point before, and you're saying, what are all us musicians doing that are like kind of jonesing to get something musically out of our bodies and our souls, and you provide a great platform for that, and that I think that what brings everybody out here. So that's fantastic, and kudos to you again for keeping this thing rolling, and it just keeps getting better. So thanks for giving us something until we can get back to the real world.
Well, it's the least I can do. Anyway, so Emmett is part of. For those of you that don't know, Emmett is the lead singer. Is that a fair, accurate statement? Are you the lead singer and alter ego?
I'm the part-time lead singer.
Okay, part-time lead singer.
Tommy and I kind of split. He probably does a little more than I do.
And it's funny because you both have tremendous ranges, and I've always. I always marvel when you see a band, that has more than one lead singer or more than one a quality singer. Let's put it that way. And seriously, I mean, when you see there's a few bands that are kind of playing in the area that when you see it done, you go, wow, that's amazing, especially when they're doing great harmonies, etc. So I was kidding you a little bit about what we're going to play this next song, which is China Grove, if that's all right with you. We'll start with that one.
Absolutely.
China Grove, for anyone that has ever attempted to sing this, the reality is that Tom Johnson had a tremendous resonance to his voice, and you nail it. I mean, I'll tell you now, even the highest notes, which are a challenge for anyone, including Tom Johnson, by the way, because I've seen them do it live, and it's just, he tries, especially these days, he tries to get there. But I got to give you a lot of credit for this because I mean, I think you did a really nice job here. So we're gonna go ahead and play it, and then we'll come right back to you. Okay?
Sounds good. Thanks.
All right. Awesome. Thanks. Here's Emmett Lee.
When the sun comes up in the sleepy little town down around San Antonio, and the folks surmise for another day round about their home. The people of the town are strange, and they're proud of why they came. We're talking about China Grove, oh, China Grove. Well, the preacher and the teachers all their caution, they have to talk to the town. And when the gossip gets a fine and they line, when the sun comes calling down, they say that the father's insane. They're mistaken the game. We're talking about China Grove, whoa, China Grove. Every day there's a new thing coming, ways of it going of you. heart of the lost lost sleep. People don't seem to care. They just keep on looking to the east.
All right, China Grove.
Oh, thanks.
Not easy. Right?
No,
I mean,
no, that one, that it definitely that one high note like we were kind of talking about earlier on. That one's a stretch, but fun tune.
So and also I think we talked a little bit about the fact that when you hear the Doobies do it, that backing track, the backing vocals into that song makes it fairly intricate, because you're singing one line, the backing vocal is sort of challenging that line, etc.
Yeah.
It's kind of it's really a difficult song to do.
Well, see, I'm lucky I have Tommy McLaughlin to help me pull that off. So
So is it? By the way, is it Tommy and somebody else in the band? I don't remember. Is there another? Do you have several vocals?
There's one other lead guitar vocalist, primarily lead guitar, but he does backup on some vocals as well.
And so he sings on that song?
Not on this one. No, Tommy does.
Okay, got it. All right, so bear with me for 1 second. I have to get here. I have got to load this other song. I completely, for whatever reason, didn't load it. So the next song is, and I'll go on record as saying this, and while I'm somewhat distracted trying to figure out where I'm going to place this thing, I will go on record. I'm not embarrassed to say this, because there's nothing to be embarrassed about, right? This is one of my all-time favorite songs, and just absolutely one of the prettiest songs ever written. And so can you just speak a little bit about why you selected to do this song? Because
I second that. I've always been a big fan of this particular artist, and seen him on a few different occasions, and just, I don't know, he's timeless, and just everything he turns out seems to be just better than the last, and I think the original stuff from back from the 52nd Street days, and were really good things. And this was probably one of my favorite and one of my first songs ever really getting deeply into. So I definitely have a strong attraction for it.
Well, great. So I just loaded it, and you can probably see me kind of, where is that? So every once in a while, and I should explain this, every once in a while, we have files that get loaded into this platform that we have that for whatever reason are either above the limit, even though I try to keep my eye on it, or below the limit. And apparently there's a minimum threshold. I didn't realize that. So when I went to load the file, it was underneath the size, the minimum size, which is the strangest
really
thing. So I just reformatted it. It's fine. It's all good. So here we are. This is Just the Way You Are. This is absolutely one of the, it certainly ranks in terms of my favorite songs, probably in the top 5 favorite songs of mine. So here we go. This is Emmett Lee doing Billy Joel's Just the Way You Are.
Don't go changing to try and please me. You never let me down before. Ooh, don't imagine you're too familiar, and I don't see you anymore. Would not leave you in times of trouble. We never could have come this far. Ooh, I took the good times. I'll take the bad times. I'll take you just the way you are. Don't go trying some new fashion. Don't change the color of your hair. Ooh, you always have my unspoken passion. Although I might not seem to care, I don't want clever conversation. I never want to work that hard. Ooh, I just want someone that I can talk to. I want you just the way you are. I need to know that you will always be the same old someone that I knew. Oh, what will it take till you believe in me the way that I believe in you? Said I love you, and that's forever. And this I promise from the heart. Ooh, I couldn't love you any better. I love you just the way you are. I don't want clever conversation. I never want to work that hard. Ooh, I just want someone that I can talk to. I want you just the way you are.
Ah, God. Oh, God, I love that song, man. You did a great job, man. I love
Oh,
it.
thank you very much.
Absolutely
Appreciate
love
it.
Yeah, I never can tell whether or not anyone can actually hear me sing. I don't think so. I think I mute my mic pretty well, but I was singing the entire time. Could you hear me or no?
No, I didn't hear you.
I didn't think so. I think I worked. I learned how to work my mute button. But hey, as always, Emmett, you do a great job, and we hope that you'll grace us again this
Absolutely.
this coming week or the next, whatever works for you, man. We're here.
Absolutely, sure will.
All right, that's Emmett Lee. Check him out. Hopefully, when we get back on track with the Alter Ego Band.
Alter Ego Band, we're ready to go. The gigs are there. We just got to get everything up and running, and we'll be out there.
Well, listen, I have faith. We'll see you, man. We'll see you soon.
Take care. Have a good night.
Stay safe. Bye. All right, again, Emmett Lee, and let us bring in our next guest. This gentleman is a staple in the open mic scene.
Hi, Frank.
Like, what am I? A staple? Hector Perez, what's up, buddy?
Great to see you, man. How's everything going?
So I want to just, if you don't mind, I'm going to sort of tell a real quick story. So I can actually see anyone that streams into this broadcast in what we call the green room. That's a panel which exists right below this level right here. And it's literally everybody that's sort of like, so when I ask Hector or Emmett or whomever to sort of join us, they will log in about 10, 15 minutes before. Hector logged in about an hour ago, which, by the way, I love. You'd rather be early than late. But what the real story, and I didn't mean to embarrass you. Hopefully I'm not embarrassing you. I don't think I am. But the real story is I got to watch what Hector does. Entertaining. No, nothing bad. It's all fun. Have you ever seen the episode of Seinfeld when they show, and it's you have to be a fan of the show, but they show Kramer when Jerry goes away to Atlantic City or something, and for like a segment of about 45 seconds to a minute, they show various things throughout the day of what Kramer is doing in Jerry's apartment. And at one point he's like smoking a cigar. Next point he's like he's doing rumbling music. Like he's just doing all sorts of things. That's kind of what you reminded me of. Yeah, at one point you're playing guitar, then you walk away. Then for whatever reason you're blowing smoke right into the screen, and you knew you were doing it too. He was like going. I'm like, does he know that I'm watching him? Anyway, Hector.
I did not know that.
But listen, you're always an entertaining individual, and also a very you're a good guy. You're one of the good guys around. And
thanks, sir. You.
This is the first time you joined this particular broadcast. I've seen you on other broadcasts, by the way. Just know that I've seen you on other broadcasts. You're going on all the other shows. I'm just kidding. I'm so kidding. You have a couple songs you submitted. The first one you'd like to maybe set up for us.
Yeah, a week ago, good friends of ours, Holly and Sean, got married, and it was a really sweet story in the middle of a lot of bad stories. So it was just really nice to see that, two people were stuck together for all this time, and they said, I want to sign up for a lifetime of this.
God bless, right? All right, so this is also, as I said to Emmett Lee a minute ago, that I love that one particular song from Billy Joel. This is also right up there in terms of my top 10 favorite songs of all time. Just really, Jerry Rafferty, obviously a tremendous songwriter, and so this is something from Jerry Rafferty. Do you want to go ahead and set it up, and we'll go ahead and play it?
Yeah, this is a song by Jerry Rafferty. It's called Right Down the Line. It's about a guy who meets like the most incredible woman. Sean, that would be you.
All right, here we go. Thanks, Hector. Here is Hector Perez doing Right Down the
Line. Hi, I want to sing a song for Sean McInerney and Holly McCrary. Holly McCrary, they got married this past week. And it's a really nice love song that I like a lot by Jerry Rafferty. And it's called Right Down the Line.
Yeah, this is my way. much more, 'cause you believed in me through the darkest night. But something better inside of me, you brought me into the light. Put away all my crazy dreams, I put them all behind. 'Cause it was you, woman, right down the line. I just wanna say, this is my way of telling you anything I could never say before. Yeah, this is my way of telling you that every day I'm loving you so much more. If I should doubt myself, if I'm losing ground, I won't turn to someone else, they'd only let me down. When I wanted you to shape my life, I had no doubt in my mind that it was you, woman, right down the line.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Holly.
Yeah, and happy birthday.
That was
Holly.
great, man.
Thank you.
That was dynamite, man. I love that song, and I think you did a really nice job. You've got a really interesting range. You've got a when people have when I've seen you perform live, I'm always impressed by how well and how effortlessly you hit some of those high notes. So I kudos. You know,
Well, I can still do it sometime.
you know what? Listen, man, that goes for all of us. I think that's the reality. All right, so we're gonna play your next song, which is a Poco song. And any particular setup for this, or just?
No, it's just I saw Poco a little while ago, about a year ago this time, and they were just so great. And I just remember this one song, "Crazy Love," that I really liked, and I went out of that show saying I must learn how to play this song. So
Okay, good.
I think I did. Let's check it out and see if you like
All
it.
right, here we go. This is Crazy Love. This is Hector Perez doing Poco's Crazy Love.
Tonight I'm gonna break away, just you wait and see. I'll never be imprisoned by a faded memory. Just when I think I'm over her, this broken heart will mend. I hear her name and I have to cry. These teardrops come again. It happens all the time. This crazy love of mine wraps around my heart, refusing to unwind. Ooh, crazy love. Oh. stars in a summer sky that fall without a sound, and then pretend that you can't hear the teardrops coming down. It happens all the time, this crazy love of mine wraps around my heart, refusing to unwind. Ooh, crazy love. Tonight I'm gonna break away.
There he is. All right. Another gem. Nice job, man.
Thank you. Thank
And
you.
you just said you just learned that song? Is that what you just said? Like you started
No,
laughing?
I learned it about, a little while ago. I said, immediately when I left that concert, I said, I have to learn this song. And I
So within the last year.
within a year, yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. There you go. Excellent rendition, and thank you for joining us. I hope you'll join us again. And I'm sorry. I know. This show goes a little bit longer. It's right after 10 o'clock. It's 10:08 or whatever it is. My apologies for bringing on as late as I have. But here's my problem. Here's what we try to do, just for those that are sort of paying attention to this sort of thing. What I try to do is I try to mix it up a little bit. So if you're on the tail end or on the second hour, let's call it that, I'll try to put that person in the first hour the following week. So I used to be a little league coach, and I got used to, like, okay, well, if Johnny batted second today, he's going to bat eighth tomorrow, that sort of thing. And I think that's only fair. At the end of the day, that's kind of what it's all about, right? We want to get as many people exposed to as many people as possible. So if you'll come back, I promise you'll be in.
Sure. Well, thank you for doing this, Frank. It's really, really great that you're doing this kind of stuff. Appreciate it so much.
And it's great. It's great to see you. And keep on doing what you're doing. And by the way, I love the room. I love the background. I've been watching. Been looking at some of the. You got a John Lennon picture back there, and some
Keith Richards back there too. Yeah.
Some Keith Richards. You got some great. Some great license plates and things like that. So, all right, man. Keep on grooving. I'll see you soon. All right.
See you soon, Frank. Good night, buddy.
All right, good night. All right, that's Hector Perez, one of my favorite all-time guys. Just pleasure to be around, and just a true gentleman. All right, so we're going to bring in Mr. Steve Furlano. Steve, 3, 2, 1, here he comes. Steve, how you doing, man? Steve, can you hear me, Steve? Oh no, we practiced this before. You're more than likely just listening to. I know, it's not working. That's all right. You might be listening to
Frank,
your.
I can't hear you.
I know you can't. All right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and mute Steve, only because we're clearly going to have a delay thing happening. But Steve does, and I'll just kind of talk him up a little bit. Steve actually hosts a show Tuesday night on Facebook. That's okay. Don't sweat it, man. We'll get through this. Don't sweat it. Steve hosts this show on Facebook Live, and he's actually, I believe it's called Uking with Steve and the Cukes. And you'll kind of get a sense of what Steve does when we play his first video. So let's go ahead and play this.
I have got another girl, you're making me say that I've got nobody but you. But as for today, well, I've got somebody that's new. I ain't no fool, and I don't take what I don't want, for I have got another girl, she's sweeter than all the girls, and I've met quite a few. Nobody in all the world can do what she can do. So I am telling you this time, you better stop, for I have got another girl who will love me to the end. Through thick and thin, when the rain is blowing in your face, and the whole world is on your case, I can offer you a warm embrace to make you feel my love. When the evening shadows and the stars appear, and there's no one there to dry your tears, I could hold you for a million years to make you feel my love. I know you haven't made your mind up yet, and I could never do you wrong. I've known it from the moment that we met, no doubt in my mind where you belong. I'd go hungry, I'd go black and blue, I'd go crawling down the avenue. There is nothing that I wouldn't do to make you feel my love. The storms are raging on a rolling sea, and on the highway of regret, the winds of change are blowing wild and free. You ain't seen nothing like me yet. I can make you happy, make your dreams come true. There is nothing that I wouldn't do. Go to the ends of the earth for you to make you feel my love. There is nothing that I wouldn't do to make you feel my love.
Steve Forlano. Steve, let's see if we can get Steve back on here. We had a trouble with connecting. Steve, can you hear me?
Hey, Frank.
All right, you can hear me.
I'm still having trouble hearing you. I don't
Well,
see you.
You
Sorry.
can hear me. Or you can't hear me. Okay, all right, that's okay. Well, listen, Steve does a Facebook.
I don't know what happened tonight.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Steve does a virtual, I guess, performance, actually, back and forth between. It's kind of a sing-along. That's probably a better way of putting it. And it is it's on the Steve Forlano Facebook page, and it's essentially uking with Steve and the Cukes. So, Steve, we're going to try to figure out what we'll work on this whole vocal thing, voice thing, and we'll get you back online hopefully next week if you'll join us. Don't sweat it. Don't sweat it. All right. Well, Steve, I'm going to say have a great week, and we'll look forward to seeing you, I guess, Tuesday nights on your Facebook page and sing along with Steve and his friends playing ukulele. All right, Steve. Catch you later, man. That was Steve Forlano. And I'm not sure every once in a while we, for whatever reason, can't connect the two pieces, but it happens. All right, so we're going to, I think we're done with our live interviews. We've got a couple of new other songs to play for you before we end this evening. We're going to bring in Shane O'Reilly, who was going to be here this evening, but unfortunately just ran into some issues and just life, as they say, and so unfortunately was not able to join us. But we wanted to go ahead and play this. So without further ado, here is Shane O'Reilly.
Lover, there will be another one who'll hover over you beneath the sun. Tomorrow, see the things that never come.
sky is the color of love. There must have been an angel by my side. Something heavenly came down from above. He led me to you. He led me to you. He built a bridge to your heart all the way. How many tons of love inside I can say. When I was led to you, I knew you were the one for me. I swear the whole world could feel my heartbeat when I lay eyes on you. You wrap me up in the color of love. You gave me the kiss of life, kiss of life. You gave me the kiss that's life, kiss of life. Wasn't it clear from the start? Look, the sky is full of love. Yeah, the sky is full of
All right, JC Alza doing obviously a track that clearly had copyright infringement protections, because I just got a note from Facebook saying that your video has been muted because of copyright infringements. Hey, that's certainly not our intention. But JC's always one of the finest space players in this area, and always a pleasure to watch live. You know, we played something. Let me just hide. We played something from JC a couple weeks ago, and it did not trigger any red flags. So who knows? Whatever. So we are almost done with this evening. I figured, you know, since we have a couple more minutes left, I'd play something that I myself recorded a couple weeks ago. You can tell my hair is getting a little bit longer. Let me see. Here's kind of what it's looking like these days, you know. And in the morning when I wake up, it looks something like this, you know. But anyway, that's not usually my hairstyle. If you know me, I usually have a nice little clean cut thing. But you can tell, and the reason I mention that is you can tell I recorded this particular song about a month ago. And so I'm going to go ahead and play it right now. It's I think I explained and describe. I think there's a talk up here. So here it comes. This is me. If you'll indulge me and just listen to this track. Here we go. Okay, this one is an original. It's called Nobody's Fool. Well, I started down the road, being careful not to load a car full of lies and despair. Never seems to amaze how I'm seemingly unfazed, even when there ain't nobody there. Everyone I've ever known has held their secrets to their own, and their chins pointed straight in the air. But I'm down on my luck, but I ain't giving up, and that bargain has always seemed fair. Well, I sink like a stone, got my lover on the phone, saying all of the things that I've done. Well, I'm drinking Ronsica, and I feel like throwing up,
So I get up and I started to run. But there's someone at the door, and he wants a little more of the stuff I've been selling for years. But I'm all out this time, so I threw him a dime, and I asked him to get us some beers. Well, I feel that the wind's at my back as I head through this tortured terrain. I feel as if I'm not looking backwards when I'm looking for someone to blame. Well, I feel as if I'm drifting away to the dangerous part of the pool. I know that I'm not the world's brightest, but I'm certainly nobody's fool. Well, I started down the road, being careful not to load a truck full of lies and despair, trying hard to believe everything that I read, even though I don't seem to care. Everyone I've ever known has held their secrets to the bone, and the stones lay unthrown in their deed. But when I'm down on my luck, but I ain't giving up, and that comforts a true friend indeed. Well, I feel as if the wind's at my back as I head through the tortured terrain. Well, I know that I'm not looking backwards when I'm looking for someone to blame. Yes, I feel as if I'm drifting away to the dangerous part of the pool. I know that I'm not the world's brightest, but I'm certainly nobody's fool. Yes, I know that I'm not the world's brightest, but I'm certainly nobody's fool. Well, I know that I'm not the world's brightest, but I'm certainly nobody's fool.
All right. That's me. That's me. That song is called Nobody's Fool, and I figured I'd throw that in there. I recorded it a couple weeks ago, and you know what? I was contemplating playing it and not playing it. Who knows? But so this is it. We are done. It's amazing how fast 2.5 hours goes when you're having fun and you're enjoying yourself amongst friends. I want to especially all of our performers this evening. Chuck Chester, her sister is most importantly, thanks to you for tuning in and hanging out with us. I mean, it's always a pleasure to see you all, and love your comments, and just keep them coming. And we're going to do this as long as it takes. That was weird. I'd lost, look at that. All right. I was just starting to say, we're going to do this as long as it takes, and as long as you'll have. So please come back next week, and we look forward to another great show. And thank you, and stay safe, stay well, and we'll see you next week.